Recorded at 2024's GCSAA Conference and Trade Show in Phoenix, Arizona. Here's your host, SiteOne Golf Associate Max McGee.
And John, if you don't mind, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about where you come from?
Sure. My name is John Fulling, and I am a golf course superintendent. And I am at Kalamazoo Country Club in Michigan, and I've been there 30 years tomorrow.
Whoa.
Tomorrow. 30
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, 30 years tomorrow. And I have been a SiteOne John Deere Golf Let's Go customer the whole time. And I have worked with Lee Collins the entire time.
I'm sorry.
Me too. But
well, no, we'll get through that.
Yeah.
It
right.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
No, well, thank you, John, for your loyalty, and we really appreciate it. And a little more background. What got you kicked off in this industry? What was it that brought you to the green industry?
Yeah, I got this one. This is easy. So I went to school for music. So I'm a drummer, and I studied music. I went to Northern Illinois University, and I still play the drums. But I also, since I was 16 or 15, worked at a golf course in Rockford, Illinois, and essentially got out of school for music, and then woke up one day and realized that I couldn't survive on $60 a weekend for the rest of my life. And so I had heard about a turf program, went, and this is it. So essentially I tell people that I have done my entire life. I have been able to do the only two things that I've ever loved that I've ever done. And so, yeah, it's been pretty good. I
rock out and grow grass.
Yeah, still play music and work on the golf course. Never done anything else.
Which school?
Kishwaukee College in Illinois, yeah. So right down the street from NIU. It was just south of Rockford. It was the only one I had ever heard of. I mean, back then, of course, no internet. But it was one of those where the assistant at the club, Forest Hills Country Club, had gone to Kishwaukee College, and
it worked.
It worked. That's where I went.
You got what you needed.
Yeah,
and moved on.
Yeah.
At your club now, what are some of the tougher challenges you face on whether it's a day-to-day thing in terms of labor or whatnot, or has there been an agronomic instance in the past year or so that's gotten your attention and maybe caused you to have to maybe make a little detour from your normal plan of attack? Is there something that stands out?
Labor for sure. Now I would tell people that anymore from an agronomic side, if you stay in tune with it, the products are so good today, right? We've got everything covered so well. Rarely is there something new
that you don't have a tool for.
Yeah,
or a solution maybe.
Yeah, or that's not already covered. But from labor's tough. Labor's tough. But you don't have to go into it because everybody understands that.
Yep.
But I think golf. I think what we're doing now is trying to really be good stewards of the resources, provide the same or better product in a more efficient way, and looking at all the tools available to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where really staying in tune and staying educated, staying on top of things, and having like the resource of this show comes in really handy, because I think that's really the job. Anymore, there isn't a big difference between greens from one golf course to another. I mean, everything's pretty good.
Correct.
Yeah. So no, it's.
You think as the industry as a whole over your past 30 years has evolved enough, in terms of product assortment to provide a pretty darn good portfolio of what you can use to mitigate any pests or that kind of thing?
Anything, absolutely. So I'm old.
From when it started.
Yeah, but so even just a Kalamazoo Country Club, let alone the 10 years before that, when I started, I mean, we didn't even really know what anthracnose was, and I mean, at that point, the first number of years that I was even there, I mean, the fair was, the fair was just burn out every summer, but to watch that science progress, and no, that's anthracnose, and that's this, and now we've got products for, and here we are, we haven't seen anthracnose in 8 or 10. I don't even know what the heck it looks like anymore. It's amazing, rolling.
You've got prescriptions.
It's true, and I mean rolling and wetting agents and and the things that made life really hard. Now, it's routine. You have to do the work, but it's so much more scripted than it ever was. There really aren't the
huge surprises.
The unknowns. There really aren't the unknowns, but it was all unknown. But I've been fortunate enough in my life to be able to, and I know certainly before that there were a lot of advancements made, but I think those were basic advancements. Now, I mean, I got to see really the science, the chemistry, all of the equipment technology at up to where we are today, and the difference is extraordinary.
Yeah,
I mean, it really is. So
technology's come along.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. It's been cool to see. It really has.
Nice. Well, you kind of touched on that in terms of these new technologies that have helped you maybe do your job a little with less surprises.
Yeah.
Has that led to an increase in the standard by which you maintain your golf course?
Every day. Absolutely.
And how does that standard that you create, the level of perfection that you demand, does that obviously must impact your customer? And when I say customer, the golfer, the member, how does that impact their expectations on a day-to-day basis? Customer expectations.
No question their expectations are higher. But that's okay. We want their expectations to be higher. And we can provide a higher level of product now every day. We go today, I think this is even true in the last maybe 3 to 5 years, where we're trying to achieve what we call the postcard every minute of every day.
For every round.
For every round, right? Every single, whether we want, if you were to take a snapshot of whatever that area is, the one that you would put on the postcard, right, it would be perfect. It would be done, and that's what we want our golfers, our members, and our guests to see and experience every single minute of every single day. 10 years ago, you couldn't produce that. You really couldn't. Today, we're getting really close to being able to produce that.
That's neat. That's a good story to tell.
Yeah, and so that's what we go for. I mean, is it absolutely there? I mean, no, of course not. But it's amazing how close we are to being able to do that.
Heck yeah. That's good. It's fun to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And to get to that level.
Yeah.
I think I have heard in the past, either from Lee or from you, you guys did some renovations on your course?
We've certainly done many over the years.
Okay, there's a big one currently.
Yeah.
Can you kind of expand upon that?
Yeah. So we're in the process of essentially redoing the whole club. Been very fortunate, and got really great leadership who want to create a wonderful world-class facility and are able to do it. And so, yeah, it's a large project. It'll be all new facilities, buildings, and then all new short course, golf course. So not redoing what we have.
Wow.
But
kind of
total redo.
Yeah. Bulldozers.
Yeah.
A
lot of both.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are. It started. The building portion has started here last July, and it'll go. It's I think 29 months on the buildings, and then but we'll start building golf in 25 and work through 26 and try to get everything buttoned up and opened 27. So yeah, it's a big project.
Turf type changes or
yeah, oh yeah,
okay.
Oh yeah.
What do you maintain now?
So right now we're 14-year-old golf course, and right now it's bent POA, Michigan bent, we like to call it.
Gotcha.
And
gotcha. I'm a Florida guy, so it's fun to hear.
Yeah.
the cool season turf. Yes.
Yeah. Old stuff. Bluegrass roughs and POA fairways and bent grasses anywhere that it can survive. No, we'll go all new. Everything will be gone. We're going to go with 007 XL and on fairways and tees, and we'll do a 3-way on greens right now. 007 XL, 007, 777. Be all new. It's all new construction, obviously, new mixes, new all that stuff, and then we'll do roughs and fine fescues in the taller out of the way roughs, the out of play areas.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah,
it's
exciting.
It is exciting. It'll be great. It's a great design, and
it's good to invest It's nice to see they're investing for the future.
They are absolutely investing for the future.
That's healthy,
and for the community. And I think this project is being done for the right reasons. I mean, it's a club that has a lot of just resources, but a great club in a community is a great resource and a great asset to the community for a lot of reasons, right? Communities are always trying to attract companies, business, right? Communities are trying to grow jobs all the time, right? So the more you have to help attract the executives and the decision makers that are bringing a business to a community, right, the better chance you have.
It builds upon itself.
Absolutely, and so I mean, it's a really great thing for everybody.
Amazing. It's amazing to think of a golf club and that light and what it can do for a community, and that's important for people to know about. Talking about the general public or the community, what do you wish the general public, the layman that doesn't know what superintendents do on a daily basis, what do you wish the general public knew about your work as a superintendent?
I wish that they could come and actually see. Once you come and see, right, you're in.
That morning operation, that morning set.
Yeah, and I think the level of commitment to the environment, to all the things that maybe are perceived out there simply by the word golf, how completely opposite it really is, right? And that's what I wish people could see. We are stewards of not only the land but the environment, and you do feel bad. Of course, you never engage, but you do feel bad when you hear people, talk negatively about golf and superintendents and any effects that they believe might happen. And when we've gone to extraordinary lengths, scientifically and every day, to protect, because, the bottom line is I live in that every single day.
Yes.
Right?
You're physically there.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I'd like them to see. And, the other thing I think about golf in general, that is, there's a big misconception generally, is that golf is wealthy. Golf is white. Golf is all these things, and I'd really like them to see and understand, first of all, 80% of every golf course in the country, is a small business in a small community that might charge $25 or $30 to play golf, and that the vast majority of their customers are not
working class.
And they're having a great time, and these golf courses employ a bunch of people in the community, and they're just great resources. Not the fact that it's a green space in an otherwise urban setting.
Yes.
That provides all this great, environment. Yeah, for animals and plus everything that will never, in an urban environment, that won't go away, won't be developed.
It's a healthy exercise for us,
that too,
for humans.
Yeah. I mean, you're outside. I mean, it's great. It's awesome.
Leave the golf cart and get a walk in, and you're taking care of your mind and body yourself.
Those are the things I really wish people could see.
Yep.
And you want to do it in a positive way, and you want to invite them in, and once they're there, they'll get it. You don't have to force it down. You just gotta get them in.
Yes.
So
well said. Yeah. Newcomers into the business. What kind of advice would you give to whether it's a young assistant or even someone still in school? Is there something that stuck with you that you wish to impart on them?
Yeah. So in our business, particularly in our business, I would say first, of course, learn everything you can. Number one. Number two, try not to, it's hard to, but try not to expect to have everything fast, right? It takes time. It's a very large property. It's a large business. And it takes time to learn, and it takes experience. So focus on awareness, right? Focus on awareness. Because it's so big, because it's so vast, because there's so many things going on. In many businesses, people are doing a project. That's what they're doing all day. This is what I'm working on, right? Or I'm this, and this is what I do. Well, as a golf course superintendent, you're going to do 100 different things during the day, and then watching over 100 other things at the same time. Be aware, see everything. If you can do that, you will be very successful. And, lastly, you will know if this is your life. You will. Everybody who's ever gotten in that stayed in, right, they know. It's what you care about. It's what you think about. And, golf course superintendents are kind of a weird bunch, right? We have this reputation of caring more about that golf course than we do everything else. But in many respects, I don't know that that's what it takes to be successful, but those who do are generally successful.
That's for
you know what? Care.
And they're personally and obviously professionally invested because it's their livelihood and it's what they grew up liking to do. Yeah,
and I don't go to work. And most of us, we don't. I don't go to work. You can't work. I'm not going to tell you how many hours I work, right? Because nobody should have to do that, but I don't think about it as have to do that. And most of us, I think we're more comfortable at work than we are anywhere else.
Sure.
It's not work.
If it's that way.
It's our life. Yeah. If it's that way, yes. Yeah. But you hate to say that like that because you don't want to deter people. But at the same time, imagine not having a job, but having the one thing that you love to do.
Must be a nice thing.
Right. It's that's it. It's the one thing, and most of us you build that over time, and it becomes you, and it's no longer work. It's an amazing. I don't know how many people actually experience that.
I was about to say
life.
that's a fortunate thing because not many do.
Yeah,
and that's a nice way to look at it. Going forward in the future, we've seen some slides since I've been here that show the golf industry is strong. The golf as a sport is strong. It's growing. Mm-hmm. I'm sure in your state as well. Mm-hmm. What's your opinion for the next 10 years? Do you have a positive outlook on what could be, what's coming, and do you have an opinion on that?
Well, I think like everything, yeah. There's no question we're in a boom. We're in the COVID boom right now, and if you go back over decades, there have been booms and there have been recessions, and this boom I think is really great. I think the one thing that this boom, unlike let's say the housing golf course housing boom, this COVID boom actually created more golfers. We grew the game not in just number of rounds played by golfers, but a couple of years of not being able to do anything but go to a golf course, we actually grew non-golfers into golfers, which is awesome.
Groomed some non-golfers
into
liking the sport.
Absolutely. And I think you got people who weren't golfers.
Yeah.
Their friends aren't golfers. No, they're communicating with them, right? Their friends, they're talking about how they love golf. I think that's a positive thing. So I think that, and it'll always go down. It'll always go up. But I look at that particular boom and that particular group of people as a huge benefit to the game, and I have a very positive outlook.
It kind of had a chance to grow organically from the base of it being a sport and a pastime, a way to spend your time as a recreational activity, instead of just an asset that went along with a sold house.
Well, and what it did, it was almost custom designed for it. What it did, golf
outside,
outside and over time, right? So golf, I believe is the number one attempted, tried new sport in the world every year, but it's also the number one given up. Why? Because it's hard.
Yes.
And it's not fun for a long time. So you and I and everybody in the golf world knows you have to play golf enough to get to the point to where you can have fun. And if we didn't have that year and a half, 2 years where people actually, they had to go outside, they could go play golf once every week or once every couple of weeks. And now by the 10th, 12th time you play, all of a sudden you start hit some good shots. And that's what it takes. You have to get there in order to all of a sudden love the sport. If you went out and played one time, right, you'll never come
kind of like playing the drums.
Yeah, well, that can be fun.
Or another musical instrument.
Right, you can't. That's a long time.
Yeah.
But no, I think that COVID thing was, you hate to say it, but it was custom designed for it. It kept people doing it long enough because there was nothing else to do that they finally got to the point to where they got good enough to enjoy it. That's all it takes.
Exactly.
The first time you have fun, you're hooked.
You're hooked. You're in.
Yeah.
Last question. Over your past 30 years, what's the craziest thing or most unique thing you've witnessed or seen on the golf course itself? And I know that's a far-reaching, but is there one instance that stands out in your mind that you thought you'd never see or experience that maybe made you laugh or chuckle or upset you?
Upset me? All right. So so bad one maybe and a good one. So
sure.
bad one, and the kid didn't die.
Yep.
Just start out by saying that. So this is when I was at Medina. Sorry, Medina. But way back, you're talking 35 years ago. I actually saw a caddy who was struck by lightning, and it was one of those things where I will never forget.
Where you were?
Rain. Oh, I know. Yeah, but rain came in really quick, and the caddy set the bags under the tree. They go to the next tee, and then somebody says, "Hey, go get my bag out of the rain." Worst thing you could do, and a kid goes out there, and tree gets hit by lightning. Anyway, so the reason that I bring that up is, and now he lived miraculously he lived. But I happened to be, we had a system there which was great. You know, when one of us goes to the entrance, gets the ambulance, one of us, you know, does.
Okay.
You're right. So
Plan in place.
Yeah. So I had to be the guy in the ambulance, and so to get the ambulance out there. But this kid had, his entire body was just completely rippled up in muscle, you know, contractions, and so now kid lived. We will never, ever, ever take a chance, right? I think for me that was that just sealed it.
Yep.
Safety first, always, and so that's one thing. Other, you know, all right. Here's a good one. My crew made a video. Long time ago, they were in film school. They went to Western Michigan University. There, some of them were in film. They, without me knowing about it, they did an entire 10-minute short film of them doing everything wrong that you can do on a golf course. You know, surfing in the back of carts, doing jumping the triplexes, you know, wheelies, everything you can do all over the golf course. I never knew about it until the day it aired on YouTube.
They did it on purpose.
This is
show
a
all
long
the things
time
you're not supposed to do.
Greenkeeping. I tell you what, if you ever want to see, you find
is it still up there?
Oh, it is. Greenkeeping, and it is. It's. I wanted to get mad, but it's really good.
It's funny.
It's really good.
Maybe unsafe, but it's a little funny.
It's totally unsafe, and
we don't endorse it.
We do not, but it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It got your attention. It got you a little chuckle.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Anyway.
Cool. Well, John, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for spending time with us. It's great to hear it from the superintendent's point of view and elaborate more on your job as a leader. And so hopefully you enjoy the rest of the week here in Phoenix, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Talk to you later.
Thanks for tuning in to Confessions of the Craft. Ensure you never miss an episode by subscribing to the podcast so you can be the first to hear new episodes and discover previous ones. Follow SiteOne on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn for the latest trends and industry updates.